Hello and welcome to GEEKAMANIA. Episode 13? 13. See? That's Mark.
That's Keir.
And Ben's not here.
Ben's not here. He's
No, he's
very
not.
ill at the moment. He's got a bad cough. But, you know, we're doing it in memory of him. So, get better, Ben. We love you.
In memory, he's not dead.
I can't think of the word.
A bad cough.
Yeah, bad cough. In lovingness of Ben, we're carrying on. So, we love you, dude. Love you.
I think he should be here with his bad cough.
He should. It'd be quite funny. It's like 5 seconds. Cough. What? Does he use a
Well, I think.
Or he's like, yes.
Yeah.
Nothing, I'm just coughing. So.
As a result, today's going to be much happier.
Yes, it's going to be more happy and more us talking bollocks. So,
Yeah.
it'll be more fun for you guys. So,
It doesn't mean though it might go on for hours because there's no one to stop us.
yeah, it's true. There was stuff actually, isn't there? Brilliant. So, to begin with, let's talk about Dredd.
That's because it's a new film, big comic book film, and it's British comic book film.
Yes.
I mean, it's made in America, but the original comic book, that was British.
By 2000 AD.
Yeah. No, that was...
That was 2000 AD you made it.
So I thought it was set in 2000 AD.
Something with 2000 AD.
It was 2000 AD Dredd, because that's what it was meant to be, because it was written in the 80s. It was in 2000, there'd be nuclear war. But actually, I think it was written during the Cold War. Maybe. Possibly, I don't know.
Possibly. Leave us comments and tell us down below.
Yeah. Tell us.
Down below.
Because as you can tell, we don't know.
We don't know. So,
It's alright, I'm just going to have a little drinky poo.
me too. Let's drink together. So then, Keir, after your little drinky pool, so what do you think of Dredd?
Well, I loved it. I thought it was much better than the first attempt they had. But that was... It was much more like the comic books. It was quite strange for me seeing Anderson as a rookie, because the last I read, she was a very big player in the Hall of Justice. But once I realised, and obviously we have to mention, if we talk about Anderson, the fact that the actress that plays it is fit.
She is very, very hot.
Yeah. As you can tell now, I'm permanent. I'm going to lower the tone a lot.
That's right. I think the tone couldn't really be much more lowered anyway. After our last few escapades, you remember?
Oh.
In the top 5 superheroes and other stuff we've done all together.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And you've been looking lovely into each other's eyes.
Looking lovely into each other's eyes. I doubt it. Ben wants me. I can't be with him. He's married to you, and I'm having an affair with you. I can't do it both ways.
It'd be quite funny.
It'd be too confusing for me. So yes, Dredd.
So Dredd, yes.
Yes. There was... I think the best way to talk about this, there was a woman sat next to me, the third time I went to see it. I've seen it 3 times now. The third time I went to see it, there was a woman sat next to me, and she had a comment on everything that happened in the film. Which, you know, the scene when we're allowed to do spoiler things, aren't we?
Yeah, but I'll make sure that it says spoiler so people know it's a spoiler coming up.
Spoiler alert. But yeah, when she's in, this bit's not a spoiler, but I will be going
Okay.
into that.
Yeah,
so
of course.
the bit with Mama's in the bath and she's had the slow motion, she's going, oh look, slow motion bathwater. And she just went, oh, she's high. Oh. It's just one of the things that ruins films, and people just point out obvious things. Oh look, he's got a gun. He shot him.
Oh look, it's fire. Oh look, it's bullets. Oh look, it's shrapnel. Oh look, they're going up an elevator. Oh look, boobs. Oh look.
And there are boobs in the film.
Yes, buttery guards.
Which was my favourite bit of the film.
Really?
Yeah.
My favourite bit was just because it reminded me of Mortal Kombat. Is the bit when she's been thrown off Mama's been thrown off the building and he like goes down, it slows down. It kind of reminds me of like Mortal Kombat, that type of shot and her just boys exploding. That was quite cool.
I'd say it's kind of one of my favourites, the boobs. But also I quite liked the bit at the beginning where he's on the bike in pursuit and they go, do you need assistance? No.
Yes, that is quite cool. I mean, he goes,
I am the law.
yeah, it sounds like Batman. It's so cool. But the boys, they both have the same gruffy, gravelly voice. But I noticed about Dredd though, like one minute he's got the gruffy voice, the next minute he sounds, okay, he's got his normal voice.
That's because unlike Batman, he can have emotion, because Batman's like made to be big and scary. And Dredd, when he's talking to people, he's like, don't cross me, I'm the law. But he can talk to his like, Murray, how are you? Oh, yeah. He's not quite that, but it's essentially that. And
I loved it as well right at the beginning as well when he said with the cool fire gun with the guy's mouth.
Yeah,
that was quite cool.
The hot shot.
Yeah.
Now all the times that, because he always used like different shots, but they were all really they were all good on the money. I mean, there's not much else. So in every situation, he used the best one for the situation, which was quite good. But there's one that he didn't use, which he has in the comic books and all the games. It's Ricochet, and they never brought that into this one.
What's that?
It's the bullets. They're made in a particular way so that they bounce off surfaces until they hit something, instead of completely solid, like an arm or
that's cool.
A sofa or something that you can go into. But there wasn't many chances you could have used that. Although when they're in the corridor hiding from the three guys coming up, they could have easily just got Ricochet, taking all of them out.
They might want to use it for the third film, not use all the. They might want to use it for the next film that they might be making. Because he's a very good Dredd though, Karl Urban, isn't he?
They said they were, before it came out, they were saying that they were thinking about doing a sequel.
That's cool.
And it's been quite popular, actually.
It has been really popular.
Especially for a cult film, as it is.
And it's definitely worth its 18 certificate.
Definitely.
Some of the stuff you see in it is just like, yeah, but that can not be worth. Plus, it kind of loses because Dredd's always been known for being quite gritty and quite more graphic in its violent stuff in other comics, isn't it? So, kind of making it a 15 might lose some of its essence, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But it's very good. And Mama, I didn't realise who it was until I checked IMDb. She's from Sarah Connor from the Terminator Chronicles.
She is indeed.
I was like, walking out the whole film, I was like, recognising her. Who is she? But she's a really good bad guy, though.
She is.
She's quite sadistic. She's one of those people you would not want to be on the wrong side of her at all, really, would you?
Well, no. She skins people alive and throws them off balconies.
Yes. And gives them a slow-mo as well, so it makes it seem even more slow when they do it.
But I think, as the film as a whole, the storyline was very well done. They didn't try to overcomplicate it and have like him in different areas the whole film trying to solve different crimes. It was just him and Anderson in a building going slowly up to get to Mama. And as a story like that, it's brilliant for Dredd, because then he can do everything that he does best
in a small location. A lot of people
which apparently what he does best is take out a whole building full of gang members.
Yes. A lot of people were comparing it to The Raid, but about the martial arts, because it's set in the same sort of scenario, set in the building and think up. I never saw The Raid, but apparently someone said to me that it reminds me of The Raid. But did you ever see The Raid?
I didn't know. I saw clips, obviously, like doing screen checks and whatnot, but yeah, I can see that, because it's the same kind of idea, but they focus less on the new floor, new challenge kind of thing, because there's a big jump. They go from, I think it's like 3940 up to 76, because they use a service elevator. But yeah, I suppose it's kind of the same deal.
But it's good though. Dredd's a really, really good film. If you want to see good, raw comic book film, then definitely see Dredd. Experiencing awesomeness and see Dredd.
It's, like you said, because it's an A-team. With a lot of superhero films and comic films, they say they kind of take down some of the violence because obviously kids are going to be watching it, because everyone loves like Spider-Man, Batman. But for Dredd, they didn't need to do that, because he was. I don't think there's many little kids that go, yes, Dredd. It's all usually like Spider-Man, Superman, that kind of thing.
Dredd's more sort of comic for adults, or more older teenagers and stuff, really, isn't it? People like Dredd. Yeah.
Well, I suppose because it was written about a fairly hefty subject, because it was about the world being nuked to death and then being confined to big mega cities. Like 800 million people, isn't it, in Mega City 1?
Yeah. It's insane, 800 million people there. But it's cool though. I've never seen the original one, so I can't really compare it. How does it compare to the original?
Well, the original one, I think it was a 15. It was Sylvester Stallone played Dredd, and he wasn't. He's good as an action person, but he's not a very good actor. Then again, anyone that's watched The Expendables knows that's not why you watch the film that he's in.
No.
You just watch it for the
But
explosions.
he's really good in the first Rocky film, though, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic in that.
But I think because it was a 15, they did take away some of the violence, and that's part of where it lost some of its.
And also, isn't him removing the helmet kind of a massive thing as well?
Yeah, he takes off his helmet and he has a proper like heart-to-heart moment with someone. And for that was the first Dredd film. To do that later on in the films, that'd be fine. But as the first Dredd film, Dredd would never do that straight away. So it just didn't feel as like Dredd.
Yes, like at the end of Dredd, at the beginning of Dredd, he's more like by the book, black and white. Then by the end, he's like, because he passed Anderson, even though she failed.
Yeah.
It's like he kind of becomes more black, white, and grey now, isn't he? He's kind of become the grey areas. He does, you know.
To be fair, the two things that apparently she had done to pick up the fail, he did say, because he said that if you lose your primary weapon, that's a fail. If you give incorrect sentencing, that's a fail. For losing her weapon, they were ambushed, and then she was taken away. There was no way she could stop that. And for the incorrect sentencing, she's a psychic, so she has one up on everyone else. And that guy, she realised, was a hostage, not a criminal. So, I think if she'd just let a murderer go, but he'd not actually killed anyone or done anything wrong. He was just being threatened and manipulated into shutting the building down. Which is obstruction of justice, I guess. But, no, I can see, but I can see why he would pass her, because she's got a lot. It's not just about that, she's got a lot of guts and things.
Yes, completely. A lot of guts.
Guts and things.
Yes, and things, yes.
So I'm obsessed with her at the moment.
Isn't she in Game of Thrones, or is it Mama who's in Game of Thrones?
I don't know, you said that. I've never really seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Neither have I. Have to ask my brother, he watches it a lot, Game of Thrones.
It's the actress is Olivia Thirlby for Anderson.
I can't remember the name of Mama, but she was, definitely recognise her then. So what about the characters themselves? I mean, we've done characters, what about the editing, really, the word?
Yes. I did actually, the filmmaking and the way that they did it was edited it together. Because like, between the slow motion shots and the fast action shots, it did feel like you were looking on both sides of. But yes, the change between the two, between slow motion and real motion, did feel like you were then. You were looking at both sides of it, like someone trapped inside.
Like the bit when he captures the main black guy who's like part of the Mama's crew, and it's like slow motion, and you see the fire, and the next minute it's quite fast, and it's got that slow motion, and you see the ripples through the body. That was just how well they did. That was just rather well done.
There's a shot where they use stun grenades, and there's both of them walking through like military style, taking everyone out, and it looked very much like something you'd see in a cop show or something.
Yes.
So it was.
And another really bit I loved was the bit when the way it was just how fast the camera was moving when Dredd was running away from those three turrets. That was quite cool.
Yeah, that was. Because the way that they used the camera, it changed for the setting and for what they needed it.
Yeah.
Which makes it look more real. So
yes. So overall, what would you give Dredd out of 5?
Oh, we haven't done soundtrack yet.
I am the soundtrack. What do you think of the soundtrack?
Soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. It's kind of a mix of really gritty guitars and synths, and very over-processed drums, which I love. I love very much.
And the music worked to add the atmos and everything to the scene as well.
The atmos, indeed, the atmos.
Yeah.
Talk about music, I was saying earlier about that screen, they go, do you require assistance? He goes, no. And as the music kicks in there, it really picks it up.
Yes, and because you know that music picking up, you know something's going to happen. You know you're waiting for it. Is it going to happen? And when it does, it's like the music helps. Same with horror films. when you start hearing the music, you know something's
Yeah.
going to happen. Or, well, definitely a good film.
And they've also the bridge, because they do the whole thing as one main song and cut it up to use it there. The bit that they used for where everyone was high, and that really, it's like a choir kind of.
Yes.
With a bit of a Vox effect on it, and it really did make it. You kind of imagine that if you did take slow-mo, you'd hear that noise being around as you were in your very slow world.
I noticed they didn't use a song from the trailer. Did they use a song from the trailer? The Dredd trailer?
They didn't. No, I think. I have no idea why they didn't. Maybe they just used it for the trailer
to promote it. Maybe they're not sure. So then, out of 5, what would you give it then?
Out of 5, well, I'd give it a 5 out of 5 because it does everything it should do as a Dredd film. I mean, Dredd is what it says on the tin. It's Dredd. Everything, editing, sound effects. It's all there.
Really, I agree with you, man. Definitely. Probably maybe give it at the most of 4.5. I did like it, but it wasn't as good to me as Batman was. But you know, that's another story.
But you're a massive Batman fan, so
I am. I'm a huge Batman fan.
It would have had to have Batman in Dredd for you to give it 5 stars.
Yes, that'd be an awesome crossover Batman and Dredd. That'd be awesome, really, wouldn't it?
I often thought that if Dredd was ever put into like the Marvel universe, that'd be an interesting storyline to do. Because I don't think he'd cope with it very well with understanding the difference between like the heroes and the criminals. So if he was like,
Same with like Batman, like would he be classed as a criminal or a... Because he's Batman is technically a criminal because he's vigilantes and vigilantes are illegal, aren't they? So it's quite, yeah. So that's all it's time for this episode of GEEKAMANIA, guys. Take care, good night, and ta-ra. Bye!